Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back at the Twin State Podcast. We're your hosts, Luke and Jackson Hershey, twins from Charlotte, North Carolina. Same face, two opinions. And it's been an incredible week in the landscape of the NFL. And we're diehard Carolina Panthers fans. And so the NFL draft is really one of our favorite weeks of the year. We get to sit down together and really think about like what could our team do this next year. The NFL is such a special really sport and time that you like your team could be the worst team in the NFL and the next year be incredible. So it was so much fun.
Yeah, and for us as Carolina Panthers fans, we got our offensive line protected with Monroe Freeling, and then our D line is now all shored up with their second round pick. Super excited to see how we can just bolster up our offense and defense going into next season. And the Saints, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers all got a lot better. So super excited to see where everything shakes out. But the summer should be a fun time.
1000%. And this week we have a guest that, first of all, me and Jackson are so excited about. He's the star of Kentucky's defense. He's really everything to them. He was the captain last year. He's going to be the captain this year. And in a time where Kentucky went through a coaching change, he could have gone to the NFL draft. He could have gone to a brand new team. Teams would have paid him millions of dollars to come, and he chose to stay at the University of Kentucky. And it was so cool just to really get to sit down with him and talk about his faith and how that's really changed his life, and how the University of Kentucky has and what this upcoming season is going to do with a brand new head coach. And we really can't say thank you enough to the University of Kentucky for setting this up. So, without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode with Ty Bryant. Let's go. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Twin State Podcast. We're hosting Jackson Hershey, twins from Charlotte, North Carolina. Same face, two opinions. And we are sitting down with Kentucky football legend, star of the defense, University of Kentucky. We got Ty Bryant on the show. Man, first of all, thank you so much for taking your time. Really do appreciate you, man. How's the off season been?
It's been pretty good. I mean, we're in spring ball right now. The whole winter went extremely well. I'm happy to be here. We got a good thing rolling right now, and everything's been
Dude,
great.
you came off of such a good season, with the interceptions, most tackles on the team. When you're going into the off season, like after a season like that, how ready are you to get back on the field?
I would say I'm extremely ready. I mean, obviously, we didn't have the best year last year, but we got a brand new staff coming in, and they got a lot of energy, and they know a lot of ball. So I'm extremely happy just to be able to get back out there with the guys that we have on our team, and I'm real confident in what we got going on. So, yeah, I mean, we left the field last year with a bad taste in our mouth, and, I mean, it's just unfortunate the fact that we had to leave on a negative note, so we have to wait a long time just to get back out there to play someone who is not one of our teammates. But yeah, I'm extremely ready and I'm extremely excited for what we have going into this fall.
Dude, I love that. Between Luke and I really want to start from the beginning of your journey. When did you really get into football?
So my dad was a high school football coach. So I mean, ever since I was born, my mom likes to make the joke that I was backpedaling at 2 years old. So ever since I came out, it was just like ball, like football, baseball, basketball, all three. My dad coached my brother at a high school. Me and my brother, we are 12 years apart, almost 13. His birthday is 2 weeks after mine, so it's pretty significant age gap with that. But yeah, so I mean, as far as I can remember, I was Friday nights. I had no matter if it was hot or if it was cold. I was out there and I was playing football with the kids in the back of the stadium, or I was on the field running around and stuff like that. And I was always the youngest, so yeah.
So awesome, man. And I love that your dad played. Did he have a really big influence on you growing up to want to play the sport?
Absolutely. I believe like in my mind, if you was to ask me when I was younger, I thought I was a baseball player. And like that's just kind of just like what my dad kind of just raised me to be. We did a lot of baseball stuff growing up. It wasn't until high school where I was kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to go to college to play football. And there's multiple reasons for that. I had an opportunity to go play baseball in some places, but yeah, there was multiple reasons for why I chose the football route. But yeah, I do think that he was a big influence on me. And I mean, he taught me everything I know really from like the game aspect and from my work ethic and all that. Like I remember when I was young and I used to just be chilling, laying down, watching TV, and he was like, "Nah, get up, like come on, we're gonna go and we're gonna hit some baseball or take some ground balls or something like that." And it translates for when I got older. He always used to tell me
Dude,
that
how
too.
how tough is it to ultimately pick between two loves of baseball and football to have to ultimately choose one?
I mean, it was tough. It was really tough, and especially like in the summer when you got the football team working out and baseball games, and it's like which one am I going to go to. I'm talking to my mom, my dad about which one makes the most sense. But ultimately, I just feel like I made the decision on what I felt was best for me and what like my heart and like God and like my prayer time with Him was telling me to go with.
Man, I think that's great, and kind of wanted to jump into your recruiting process out of high school. Obviously, you're from Kentucky, but you had a lot of other great
Mhm.
offers. Why did you choose Kentucky?
I chose Kentucky because it really just felt like home. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that Kentucky was always the front runner, even though I'm from Lexington. Other schools were the front runner for a long time in my recruitment. But, due to coaching changes and a lot of other things going on, and, when I started to knock some schools down and narrow some schools down, it just felt like Kentucky was really like the place I needed to be. I established a great relationship with Coach Romero, Coach Bafano as well, and also Coach Klink before he took the job at Michigan. But I just prayed on. I feel like this is where God led me to be. And funny story about it, I remember it came down to Cincinnati and Kentucky, and Cincinnati they just came back from the playoff run, the real high, staff looking real good, all that. And I just remember praying about it, and I was like, God, lead me where you need me to be. And literally, he told me go to Kentucky. Didn't really understand why, because if I'm being completely honest, Cincinnati probably looked like the better choice at the moment. But literally 2 weeks before signing day, the whole staff from Cincinnati packs their bags up and goes to Wisconsin. So that's part of my testimony, because it's like God never fails, and that was an example of Him not failing and leading me where exactly I needed to be.
It's always I always find it so crazy when you're sitting in the middle of like a big decision and you just get a piece from God and I mean we just picked where we were going to school a couple weeks ago and we're like, man, like I don't know what
Mhm.
the right choice is. God just put this on our heart, and it's always crazy how things just work out and you wouldn't have noticed. So I think that's too cool, man. And you're getting to represent the city where you're from, which is I
Yeah,
think that's so
absolutely,
um dude, that's
absolutely.
awesome. So, well, obviously, you step on campus at Kentucky, running out of the tunnel for the first time. How cool is that?
That was really cool. I remember it was a day game against Ball State, and funny thing about it is my best friend, he actually plays on Ball State, so that was really cool just to take the field for the first time and going up against him. But it was really cool. I remember Dane telling me like Dane Key, he was like, when you run out the tunnel for the first time, it's gonna be something like you're never gonna forget, and I never did forget it. Like all the smoke and just everyone there being loud and stuff like that. Like it was amazing.
Man, something we've really loved watching you on defense throughout your time at Kentucky. Going into this next season, what's something you've been trying to work on to help your game throughout this next year?
Obviously, it's a different playbook. So, I mean, I'm just trying to get up to date and be more versatile in it. I think that's one of my biggest things I bring to the table, just being able just to be versatile. Like last year, they were able to put me in so many different positions, and that was just because I learned the book. They trusted me. That's a big thing. So just doing that, but also just getting better at the things that you can't really get too good at, like tackling, open field tackling specifically, ball skills, my man-to-man coverage. Like that's really what I'm trying to hit on. Really, my man-to-man coverage this year, just to show that I can do it everything. I can do everything, and yeah, put it all on tape.
Dude, I think that's so cool. Dude, out of high school, you got the Paul Hornung Award for the best Kentucky football player in the state. How cool was that? To get an award and receive that, but also to look back and say like, man, it's been a crazy journey.
I would say the Paul Holding Award was it was an extreme honor to win that prestigious award. Um, I remember like it was yesterday. My coach called me into his office before one of our team meetings and was like, we were just talking, chopping it up about the game plan for the week and stuff like that. And then he broke the news to me that I had won it, and I was like, wow, like that's amazing, man. And it's cool just to see, because one of my best friends, he had won it the year before me, and then one of my teammates also won it the year before him. So it was just great to see that, it just stayed in the same school, and I got to take that home. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like that was a cherry on top. 2022 was probably one of the best years of my life. Winning a state championship, winning MVP, and then the Paul Horning Award was really just the cherry on top. So yeah, it was amazing just to take home that award.
And the one game we got to talk about last year is that Ole Miss game where you had two interceptions in the first quarter. What was going through your head on both those balls? Because I mean, it's hard enough to get an interception in the SEC in general, but to get two first quarter interceptions on one of the best teams in the country is absolutely insane. What was kind of going through your head?
Yeah, so on the first one, it was kind of just like when we practice this technique all the time. And it's one of those where if you do it correctly, like, some a good thing might happen for you. And so like all summer we were practicing, all winter we was practicing, like we practiced that so many times. And I did the technique, I opened up sail and I seen the sail of three coming to me. So I'm like, and I see like the guy in the flats too. But I mean, if he throws it the flat, I'm gonna rally down and tackle that. But he throw the ball, and I'm thinking to myself, because I've done it a million times, but it's like, it's just that one time for you to do it right, and then boom, it happens. So he throws the ball, and I'm like, oh, that's mine. Like, that's mine. That's coming straight
Oh,
to me. Like, so that one happened. Then the second one, I was kind of just playing in the middle of the field, and I was kind of just apexing two and three. And I was just reading the quarterback's eyes, and I seen he left it high, and I was like, oh, I got a chance for another one, and came down with
dude,
it.
I can't even imagine what was going through your head. I mean, I remember we were sitting on the couch watching the game, and we're like, "Holy
Mhm.
crap!" Like it was nuts, man. When you're going against QBs like a Diego Pavia that was up for Heisman last year, when you're going against these guys, because we're just talking about that with the SEC of it's the one conference in college football where it's literally a national championship game every week. Every single one of those teams,
Every
if they're in
week.
another
Yeah.
conference, probably would win the whole thing. So like, how do you prepare mentally and like for a top tier quarterback every week?
I think it's a lot of film sessions. Like last year, we used to watch film. I used to watch film after my lift, had class, watch film a little bit in class too, come back to the facility, get a little bit, get some film in. But that more was like with everyone, like our position coach and stuff like that. Go to practice and come back after practice and watch some more film. So it's really the mental game, just knowing what the quarterback's like, their tips and tendencies as well with the team. But it's also just making sure your body's right. I mean, we go out there and we play a physical brand of football every single week. So it's like, you got to make sure that you get your recovery time in. And, everyone has their own routine and what works for them. So, I mean, yeah, you just got to find what works for you and then boom, go out there and play on
Dude,
Saturday.
we got to talk about your social media interviews lately, all over Instagram with your players. Let's go. Was that started by you, or how did you
Yeah.
get into that? That's great.
Nah, I immediately Slack, shout out her, but she had just texted me one day. She was like, "Would you like to do like some interviews like for the fans this spring ball?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So she's like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. We're gonna talk more about it." She came to me with the idea, talking about like we're gonna get transfers on the show, and just ask them like their top this or their top this, da da da. Da. And then the name of the show actually didn't come until the first day, the first episode. Like we were pondering like what should we ask him, and I was like, can I just say like Kenny Minchie, our
Yeah,
quarterback, he was the top, he was the first one. So I was like, can I just ask him like top five quarterbacks? They was like, okay, cool. But we're just going to have to stick with like top five throughout the whole like this whole series. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And then they was like, all right, we can name it top five with Ty, and then go from there. So yeah, I mean that was the idea. And then obviously we've added the fun question just to just to get more like personal with the players. So yeah, I've loved
dude,
it.
you want to be on ESPN one day, co-hosting?
Yeah, I am. I am. I'm hoping. Yeah, I am. I am. I am. I'm hoping to get like the halftime type gig where it's like I can just sit there and talk about what's going on and just have fun with it. Like for instance, like Charles Barkley and
Right.
Shaq and them. Like I just love what they do. So I just want to do the football
Dude,
version of that.
I think you're the right man for the job. That would be so sick. And bro, I can
I
totally see you
appreciate
doing
that.
it, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that for real.
Dude, so I want to talk about so going into this off season, you could have done a lot of things. You could have gone to the draft. You could have gone to a different team, but you chose to stick in Kentucky, which I think one just shows your character, but also that you're Kentucky through and through. What about this program with a new coaching staff? Like, there's uncertainty. What made you want to stay at Kentucky? That was like, hey, this is my home.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there was a lot of options on the table, and I talked to my family. I talked to a lot of people, and at first, the obviously the question was, do I declare or come back to school? That was the first question. We talked to a lot of people and stuff like that. Thought it was best for me to come back. So, all right, cool. Now it's like, where am I going to play ball at? Is it here? Is it going to be another school? And, I do have an agent, and obviously, a lot of people are calling him, contacting him, and stuff like that. But ultimately, I just trusted what Coach Stein said, what he had going. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He's been to two playoffs with Oregon, and I mean, I want to be in the playoffs as well, and I feel like we can do that here, honestly. But also Coach Bateman. I mean, he got the job, and when he first came down here, he took me and my family out to eat. We sat there and we talked for like 2+ hours just about ball, about life, about everything. And I mean, I was like, man, he's a cool dude. He's definitely a cool dude, and I can see myself playing for him. But I mean, it really just leaned back on my faith. Like I did a lot of praying and I did a lot of talking with my dad and my mom, and we kind of just sat there, weighed the pros and the cons, and we just felt like ultimately it was just best for us to come back
Dude,
here.
I love that. And you mentioned your faith a couple times on this podcast. How important has God been for you throughout your entire football journey? Because you've had a lot of ups and downs, but it's been an awesome journey. How important has He been throughout it?
I say God's been everything in my football journey. Like the story I gave earlier about him just guiding me here. And even throughout my years of being here, asking him, do I need to stay? Do I need to go? And, him telling me just stay put. You never really understand why in the moment, but then it literally just all like plays itself out. And you're like, wow, like that's nothing but God. But God's my rock. He's my fortress, man. And I try to keep him in the forefront of everything that I do. Obviously, when I'm out there competing and stuff like that, I try to compete how a Christ athlete would, and when I'm not competing, I try to do things how a man of God would. Because I remember being at FCA and someone said, "You never know the impact that you might have on someone who's in like a crisis of their faith." And if you claim yourself to be a man of God, and they see how you act and how you treat people, man, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, he definitely is," and that might inspire and motivate them to completely give their life to Christ. But yeah, man, the Lord, He's everything to me, man. And my family and I, we all get on a phone call every single night. Literally, we have not missed a night since 2020. We pray each night. I mean, obviously, some prayers are longer than others, but it's just a reminder that He brought us into this day when He didn't have to. He let us see the end of this day when He didn't have to, and we just ask Him to keep us throughout the night. But yeah, man, I just love the Lord so much, man. He's helped me through all the ups and downs of my life. And yeah, he's really important. And for the football aspect, I mean, I play a dangerous game each and every day. So he allows me to go out there and put my body in some very, very complex positions. But he allows me to walk off the field. And I just ask he just continues to keep me healthy and safe throughout the rest of my football career.
Was there something that made it click for you, or did it kind of just happen?
It kind of just happened, and I give credit to two people, honestly. Well, my mom and my dad, obviously. I mean, I grew up going to church with them, so that's without being said. But Kamari Anderson and Hayden Dahlhair, I think those are two guys that helped me grow my faith when I got to college. And Kamari Anderson, he plays football now at Arizona State. That was my best friend when I got to college. Like everywhere you see me, you see him. Everywhere you see him, you see me. Like vice versa. But that's my dog to this day. But I literally seen his life, like he do a 180 with his life and like with everything he does just because he started following the Lord. And it's just like stuff like that is like that's motivation to me because it's like he can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? So I give props to him. Hayden Dahlhair as well. That's a guy who he came in here day one and he was like, I follow Christ. This is what I do. Da da da. And he now plays ball at Kent State, but he taught me a lot of lessons along the way too. And he's definitely grown my faith, and he's been motivation to me to just pour into other guys and stuff like that when it comes to my
Dude, I,
faith.
I look back. We had a dude, RJ Godfrey, on our show. He plays at Clemson. I think his brother in Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah, great
Yeah, and
man.
he said it's interesting because when you go to college, people make one or two decisions. They either go to God or away from God completely. It was
Mhm.
like for him, I
Yeah,
went completely to God, and it really changed my life. And I think that's really so cool. How one, you got closer to God, and now even though your two teammates aren't there anymore, you can use your relationship as you built it and really share it to the other guys around the team. I think that's really cool, man. Bro, as you're going into this new year with Coach Stein and Coach Bateman, what are you most excited for looking at the schedule of, like, man, like, do you have a team you have marked on the calendar?
every team I got marked on the calendar. I mean, I think we view every game, or not. I know we view every game as a big game, no matter if we're playing the best team or the worst team record wise. But every game, man, I'm excited, man, for what we got going on, what we got cooking, and I can't wait for Saturday nights in the fall, just like
Yeah,
everyone
man.
else can.
It's SEC atmosphere is unlike anything else. Like we're literally talking about that. Like, man,
Absolutely.
I can't wait to wake up in the morning, watch College Game Day, and be right there for SEC. Like I can't wait.
Yeah.
Dude, when you're looking back at your journey so far, do you have a favorite memory? Looking back.
Yeah, so I got a few actually. I'll never forget when I scored my
That's
first
cool.
touchdown. Um, yeah, I'll never forget that. State championship, definitely. And then I got a moment where I'm gonna tell the story on this one, but a moment where it was like a bonding moment with me and my dad. So I was, I think, 10 years old or 9 years old. No, I was 10 years old. We were in Owensboro, Kentucky, playing in a tournament down there, and our head coach, he usually called the defense, but he was suffering like some migraines. My dad, he's been a high school coach his whole life, so he asked my dad, he's like, "Can you call the defense? Like I just can't take it right now in my head." Da, da, da. My dad's like, "Okay, cool." So we're in the championship game, and this team, they're driving down the field. Like they got the ball on like the 20, and they're driving all the way down the field. And I remember we called a timeout. They're on like the 10-yard line. We can't stop them. Like we called a timeout, and my dad, he's trying to get us right with the defense. And before we go out there, he tells me, he was like, line up like this and look at me before the ball snap, and I'm gonna raise, like, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. He's like, and take, he's like, when the ball snap, take 2 steps to your left and go right back to your right. 2 steps to your right. And man, it literally, the ball was snapped. I took 2 steps to my left, went 2 steps to my right. Dude threw it
No
straight to me,
way.
pick six to the crib, ran all the way there. And like ever since then, it was just like I will never forget that. Like I hope that's ingrained in my head for the rest of my life. Like even when I'm 90 years old. Like, but that was really a bonding moment between me and my dad. And I feel like that, out of all the things, all the accomplishments and everything that I've done in my life, like that's probably number one for sure. And then after that, we ended up steamrolling the team, and they couldn't get nothing going. It was like, yeah, we beat them like it was something crazy, like almost 50-0 in the championship, and it was,
Bro,
yeah.
it's funny how like just memories like that, and honestly, it's probably where your love for football honestly sparked too. Like I think that's
Hmm.
insane, man. Do you have a bro? That's so sick. Do you have a favorite lesson looking back in your time at Kentucky you've learned along the way?
Be where my feet are. Obviously, with me winning the awards and just coming off a great high school season in my senior year, and just in high school in general, like all my years were great. But I came in as like a four on the depth chart. And I remember, you go from being this superstar to being like, just a guy on the roster and stuff like that. And that was really hard for me. Like, I remember our first spring practice, I got like maybe in team period. Like I got probably like 4 plays in total, like in all the team periods, like team run, team blitz, regular team. I got like 4 plays, and I remember going back to my dorm room, and I was so mad, and I was so like disappointed and stuff like that. But you just continue to work. And I remember in high school, even in high school, the same thing happened. Like I came in high school on the depth chart. I was fourth. My freshman year, I was a fourth stringer on the depth chart, and I ended up starting I ended up starting as a freshman in my as a freshman in high school on the varsity team. And same here. I mean, I did everything I needed to do. I ended up starting a few games, and I think I was top 10 on the team in tackles and stuff like that. So really just being where your feet are, and not thinking about like the future, just continue just to get better and continue just to grow in the position that you're in.
Dude, I to cap it off here, man. I would love to ask you about this because I think this is kind of a reflection of who you are. You just got selected on the 26 SEC Leadership Council, which that's so cool, man. First of all, when did you hear about it? Like, how did that all go down? And then, what's been your favorite part about doing it?
Um, can't remember when I heard about it. I think a lady that works within like our athletic program, she had hit me up telling me that, I've been selected, would I like to do it? Because obviously they're not gonna push it on you if you don't want to do it. So, but I was like, yeah, yes, ma'am, I'm gonna do it for sure. And I think the best part about it is just being able just to talk to the SEC commissioner. I mean, he a guy with a lot of power, and unfortunately this year our meeting was canceled due to all the snow and stuff like that they got in Birmingham. So I wasn't able to go there, but I was able to be online for it, and we did a Zoom call, and I met with a lot of great people. And I will say that the people that were also involved, like the students from other schools, they asked a lot of great questions. So I mean, it was great just to pick their mind and ask the commissioner questions as well.
Well, dude,
Yeah, I mean, dude, thank you. We want to thank you so much for giving us the time, and dude, so
Yes, sir. I
So
appreciate you guys
excited
for
for
having
this
me.
year, man. It's gonna be a fun one.
Bro, it's gonna be great. We're hyped about it, man. Everyone go follow Ty Bryant on all his social platforms. Got a great show, and we can't wait to
Yeah.
continue watching, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you, for real.